just started a new job and I really need to decorate the space in a way that will be calming and soothing, but also comfortable and inviting for students. So of course, my first stop is Goodwill because we're going to do some thrifting today. We're off to a good start. I'm already seeing a lot of wall art. Ooh, what's this? Oh, this is such an interesting vintage piece of wall art. Oops, I just knocked something over. This is so great. Oh, I love this. It would be perfect in my study, but it has some problems like around the frame. I don't know if I can overlook them, but I think I'll throw this in my cart and think about it. I like this print of apples, but it's not really what I'm going for. I think this has more of a food theme. Of course, apples are also associated with teachers, right? So not a total flop. I can always come back to it. What else do we have? Oh my gosh, this looks like a corgi. That's adorable. Again, not what I'm going for, but it's fun to see it. This is interesting. I'm completely distracted now and just looking at other kinds of things. This must have been a container for candy or cookies or something. This piece looks like it's supposed to replicate Portmeirion, but it's not Portmeirion. I'm not even going to try to flip it over because I don't want to break the lid and create a lot of damage. I'm just sort of checking it out. And these little plates also have quite a vintage look. I'm just curious about who made them. Let's see if I can move the plastic. Does that say, it doesn't say Stonehenge, does it? Looks like it says Stonehenge. Interesting. Aha! I have found a pie plate. I don't really like pie plates in general, and pumpkin pie is one of my least favorite pies, so this does not tempt me. Although apple pie is definitely more my speed. Still, I prefer apple crisp. What about you? This is so cute. I love the colors and pattern on this. This was made in Italy. This is such a pretty cake plate. I love the floral design on this. It says it was made for Macy's, but I wouldn't want to ship it. That would be kind of awkward with the pedestal. And what else do we have here? Oh, this is such a pretty creamer and sugar. This was made in occupied Japan, so it's got some age. It's got a lovely look. I always love Stangle, and I don't see it very often. There's quite a bit of staining. It's $3.99. I like the thistle pattern, but it's a sad friend. No sad friends today. Thank you anyway. The Mystery Machine and Scooby-Doo in general bring me right back, not only to my own childhood, but to my son Zach's childhood, because he loved the show too. It's fun to see it. These are very pretty faux hydrangeas. I'm not going to pick them up because I have so many real hydrangeas, and hydrangeas just dry beautifully. This is $3.99, and there's kind of an interesting mirror behind it for $3.99. I need a mirror, but that's not quite what I have in mind. And there's some more faux flowers over here, but these are really not very convincing. You can buy faux flowers that are so much more realistic looking nowadays. Even though the color's kind of fun, especially for fall into winter, I'm gonna leave these here. I'm having some success. I found this little cow wall art that's cute. I think it's pulling too many warm tones for what I have in mind in my office space, but I have it here so I can think about it. And I also found Let me move this over so I can show you. My cart is full. I also found these great chickens. I like them a lot. I'm pretty sure they're coming home with me. Okay, it's the moment of truth, and I really think this damage around the edge or this discoloration is a deal breaker for me. I know I could have this piece reframed, but the truth is I don't even have room for it in my study. My study is full of artwork already, so as much as I like this, I'm gonna leave it. Oh my goodness, check out this puppet theater. I don't think high school students are going to respond well to a puppet theater, but if I were in elementary school, this would be coming home with me. I've had some good success here today. I'm pretty pleased. So I'm going to carefully make my way back to the car with all of my finds. And of course, you'll see them before long, so hang in there. We're in my office, and my office actually has two rooms. So this is the first room, and you're probably noticing all of the wall space. I also have these file cabinets covered with contact paper. I think I'm going to get rid of them. And I think I can make this bookcase work. And then here is the inner office space that has a lot of potential. So with the inner office, I think I'm going to move the desk. The desk works just fine, but I don't like it tucked in the corner. I'm going to move it so I can actually see who's coming through the doorway. I think that is a friendlier feeling, and then I won't always wonder, like, what was that noise in the first office? I can just turn my neck and see who's there. So I'm going to get somebody to help me with that. That will be immediately impactful. The office refresh has started. I just acquired these chairs. Somebody was going to get rid of them, and I think they're really comfy and inviting. I have this little side table that we picked up at Target. So I'm getting there. Still lots of work to do, though. All right, here we have a much better transformation. We're not done yet, but you can see the wall art on the walls. It's definitely starting to give that kind of relaxing vibe I'm looking for. I think beach themes are always good in that regard. We've got some good seating for students, which is absolutely key. We have some lighting. This first room is very dark, so I think a little bit of brightness is super important. I need something to put on this black side table, and I love this dog print. I picked this up from my father-in-law's store ages ago, but I think it's really fun right here on the wall. This beach print is from Goodwill, and I think, as I said, it gives the exact vibes I'm looking for. I like the colors it pulls as well. And then these two smaller, more abstract pieces definitely have similar color tones. I really wonder if they came out of the same house or space, in fact, because they look nice together. This lamp was my own. I got this at a tag sale probably 15 years ago, and I don't have a space for it in my own house, although I really like it. So I think it looks pretty here. The table was thrifted. I picked that up recently at Goodwill. So maybe a little area rug underneath would be nice. I'll have to look for that. Here's the bookshelves. They're styled up a little bit just so they look interesting if students take a peek. I have some fidgety kinds of toys and things if somebody just wants to hold something while they talk. Some students like that. Some students don't need it. We've got a little bit of wall art here in the middle shelf, as well as a bulletin board in case I want to pin anything up. I think it's a nice variety of things. Over here is where I do testing. I'm going to move that garbage can. So this is a functional space. I don't love this lighting because it's kind of harsh. It feels almost like an interrogation room when these are turned on. And I need something right here. I want to find a mirror. And then you can see the inner office through the doorway. So still a few things I could use in this space, but it's coming along. I like this water lilies print. It looks like a painting, but it's a print. Again, kind of soothing and relaxing in this space. And then we go inside to my more sort of working office. So this is where I sit when I'm not meeting with students. And it's really functional. I love Rosie the Riveter. I've had this big framed piece. Oh my gosh, this is my third office this has been in. So I've had this for years and years. I don't know, Rosie just inspires me. What can I say? Moving over to the left is, oh, it's a lot of glare, but this is another pretty art piece. I actually got this at an auction. It was going for such a low price, I couldn't bear to leave it behind. I love this sweet little bird. It really didn't fit anywhere in my house. So even though it's a little bit on the high-end side for an office space, I'd rather bring it here and enjoy it than have it in storage somewhere in my house. I thrifted this little pencil holder at Savers. I think it was $1, so that gets the job done. And I need to move these chairs. They're in the middle of the room, so I'll do that. And here's another shot of the working spot in my office. And by the way, school's not in session right now. I like to get here early, so I'm filming before I'm actually needing to work. I don't want you to think I'm slacking off already. Jeez. So here's where we're leaving it for now. I have a few more things to buy, and I'll show you those when I get them. I have a few new additions to show you. So I bought these pillow covers on Amazon because I think the colors tie in nicely with the walls and the wall art and the lamp and the chairs. It's a small thing, but I think it really does make a difference. Look at this chair without the pillow. And you can see there's nothing wrong with it, but I think the pattern and colors of the pillow just tie things in. And I think they're also kind of cheerful. So I think they were a good find. I already had inserts, so that was easily put together and tossed back here in these cute little chairs. I also find the chair more comfortable with the cushion behind me. Yeah, I think that looks really cute. I still need to find something for the table, maybe another lamp. Here is my newest find. I picked up this adorable print. I love the dog on the beach. I think it's really sweet. It goes really well with my beachy theme that I have going on here. And I found this really pretty mirror. And what I love about this mirror is that it's right across from the bank of windows in the inner office. So it's bouncing some light and helping the space feel a little less dark. I think it looks nice with the water lilies. So, just consistent with the theme. And you've seen the rest of this room already, including the dog and all of the other pieces. So this is making me really happy. And while this isn't necessarily artwork I would have in my own house, I think it's really working well for an office space. And I've already had a few students in here and they have remarked that they really like it. So once I get a little more lighting and a few other things, which I'll find on my travels, I think I'll be good to go. I almost forgot to show you the chickens. So I did end up buying these. You might remember seeing these in my cart when we were in Goodwill. I left the cow behind, but I took the chickens because they remind me of my own girls back at home. And I think they look really nice against the backing on the bulletin board. I didn't put this backing here. It was already in place, but I like it. I think it's pretty and looks so nice with the chickens. So another little added touch. While I was at Goodwill, I picked up 2 additional things that I want to take a minute and show you, including this really pretty utensil holder. I thought this was lovely. My mother used to have this exact pattern in like this cutting board that she hung up on her kitchen wall, and it looked so pretty. So when I saw this pattern, I thought this just had to come home with me and go on my eBay store. So this is lovely. It's got the radishes on the front. There's nothing in the back, and the back stamp says Valerie Home, made in Italy. So this is dishwasher safe, which is so practical. And as I said, that will be going on my eBay store. And the other thing I picked up was a cookbook, which is kind of funny because I really don't cook that much. I wish I was one of those like YouTube channels that talked about fabulous recipes and I could show you amazing things coming out of my oven, but you know, I have a few go-tos that work and I do entertain sometimes, but mostly, yeah, not so much. If I am gonna cook, a lot of times I'm gonna stick with Ina Garten because she's got great recipes. She doesn't have a lot of obscure ingredients in her recipes, I find. So she's a great go-to. And I'm hoping to find some good inspiration here. Like fresh zucchini with lemon and mint sounds good. And there's a lot of shellfish, which I can't have, but cheesy chicken enchiladas sound really good. So, you know, a cookbook's always going to be a little hit and miss. Here's a beef stew. But for $1.99, I thought, let's see what the Barefoot Contessa has to say. And if she can give me some suggestions for modern comfort food, I'm here for it. I think this utensil holder is really lovely. I didn't really notice the Italian writing on it before. I don't know what that means, but I think this is really pretty. It was a nice find, and you can use it to hold your utensils, your spatulas and things, which is very handy, but it even looks pretty on the shelves just as decor. So I think this was a nice find. Just for a reference in terms of size, here's what it looks like with some kitchen utensils actually in it. I can't wait to share my haul with you, and I wish I could have taken video, but it was not a situation that was amenable to taking videos. So basically what happened is that a viewer of this channel reached out to me and let me know that she was looking to downsize some of the things that had been passed on to her by her mother or her aunt or things she'd acquire along the way. And she just didn't want so much stuff in her world anymore. So she was looking to rehome it for very fair prices. So she met me at Starbucks and had a cart full of really interesting things. And it was hard because I wanted to take everything, but I knew like I had to be very disciplined. I don't have the booth space anymore. I'm sure I won't be doing an online auction for a long time. So I wanted to make sure I was only selecting things that I thought would sell well on eBay or things that I could use myself. So yeah, what I'm gonna show you is a very small sampling of what she had, and everything she had was beyond tempting. So I gave myself some like kudos for being disciplined, but some of the items I didn't make a move on haunt my dreams. It's just the way it goes. But I think I'm gonna start by showing you my very favorite purchase. And that was this beautiful console bowl. This is a beauty. I love the red. Wouldn't this be so beautiful for the holidays, especially? What a statement that would be. But it gets better because there is a pair of matching candlesticks with this. How beautiful are these? I absolutely love this set. Oh my gosh. And console bowl sets usually sell well for me, so I think these will also, and they're in really nice shape. The red has very few imperfections on it. I mean, you've really got to be looking to find them. I love that it holds 2 candles. So on the table, you would have 4 of them. Oh my gosh, it would just be absolutely striking. And I would love to keep it myself, but I already have a console bowl set. So I'm gonna pass this one on. I just think it is stunning and a really good find. Here's the console set on my dining room table, and I think you can see now how beautiful it really is. I wish I had candlesticks that I could put in the candlestick holders to give you the full effect, but Iris has broken almost all of mine, so I need to go to the store. Regardless, I still say this would be an amazing focal point for somebody's holiday table.
Similarly, I bought this beautiful bowl. I would assume this is a rose bowl with all of this gorgeous detail. I don't know if this is cut to clear or some other methodology. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's so beautiful. It's like whatever way you turn this bowl, you get some kind of view of a really nice element. I love the circles. Oh my gosh, it's all so good. So anyway, another piece that would be so perfect for the holidays. It would look gorgeous at any time, but couldn't you see this as part of a holiday tablescape, or just, you know, on a side table or a hutch or a sideboard? Anywhere you put this, it's gonna make a phenomenal statement. So I was really happy to find that. I think this rose bowl looks beautiful right here on the bay window, and it's really pretty under this tray, but I don't think it needs it. I think it stands alone perfectly well. I just washed it, so it's really shining. But switching gears, I guess I'll show you something small. This is the last of the sort of ruby red items. It is this adorable souvenir wear piece. I think this must be for, what do you call them? Toothpicks, right? You think toothpicks? It's so tiny. It says Arnold 1915. So an old guy. And I really try to only collect souvenir wear from Savin Rock. I try to be strict about that, but come on. I'm gonna keep this. It's so cute and so little. So I only hope that Arnold had a fantastic time wherever he was in 1915. And between you and me, I hope he was at Savin Rock. I think that looks pretty much perfect. What do you think? Two more smalls to show you. A little salt cellar, which of course I'll keep. She only had the one, but this will go in the salt cellar drawer because I'm a weird person who has a salt cellar drawer. I don't know what to say about that. And then this beautiful Murano, Italy paperweight. This is lovely. I love the little heart in it. The sticker makes it hard to see, but there's a little heart right in the middle. It is really beautiful. I have one, but mine is larger and it has a crack in it that sort of distorts the image. I still really like it, but this little guy has no imperfections at all. I picked up this beautiful blue and white bowl. I wish there had been more blue and white. This was the only piece I saw. And this is really old. This is Chinese, made by Wedgwood. So there's the back stamp. And it's got the nice, very deep cobalt saturated blue color that you get from old Wedgwood. The newer stuff is also beautiful, but it doesn't have that same deep, rich color. So it's always really fun to find the older pieces. I don't usually pick up one bowl, but this was so beautiful. There was no way to leave it behind. I think this bowl is simple but elegant. I am assuming that this is a Fenton basket in milk glass with the ruffled edge because I have sold quite a few Fenton baskets before. There's nothing on the bottom marking this one. But if it isn't a Fenton basket, it certainly is exceedingly similar. And these are just such nice, lovely pieces. They make beautiful, elegant candy dishes. But you could put other kinds of things in them as well. You can use them as trinket dishes too. Or put anything you like. You could even set a candle in here. Wouldn't that be pretty? Again, another lovely holiday decoration. What is my deal with the holidays? It's not holiday time, but I guess it's always good to think ahead, right? This is such a pretty basket. I've shown this basket before on my channel. I've had this in all different shapes, sizes, colors, you name it. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's just a classic and it looks beautiful anywhere you put it. I picked up this stunning decanter. This is so unbelievably heavy. It is gorgeous and it has a label on it. So it says Gorham, full lead crystal, West Germany. See, there's the sticker. And the top is really beautiful and in perfect condition. Sometimes you will find little chips on these and sometimes you find replacement decanters, but this one is clearly the same pattern. And I think it is gorgeous. I don't know if we're gonna sell this one. Eric really wants to keep it, so we'll see. We have a decanter. Ours is not nearly as nice, but it does come in handy from time to time. Speaking of Eric, I had shown him, I didn't have a lot of pictures in advance to know what I was gonna be looking at, but this item I did have a picture of. It's this very old pencil sharpener. And this has Eric written all over it. The bottom says, oop, I'm making a mess. The bottom says $10.99. So it doesn't give you any like manufacturer name or anything. And you shouldn't like spill the lead on yourself like a crazy person, but you pop it in here and then you can sharpen it. It's kind of an interesting little utilitarian piece. So I decided to grab it. And now I'm gonna go wash my hands. I think the decanter looks very elegant here on the china cabinet. I think the glass really shines. I thought this next thing was fascinating. So here it is. It has a very sort of Victorian look to it. And I don't know if this is technically a pin cushion or if this is meant for like hat pins, or if it was even meant for something else, but it's so interesting. The top comes off, and so then you've got this little space inside, and let me actually just show you. You see this sort of like faux marbleized effect, and then there's like nice carvings on the base. Here's the bottom. It's sort of bowed out here. I almost wonder if it was maybe dropped and repaired and the glue didn't hold or it got hot and buckled. I'm not sure, but I do think it's really beautiful. And the fabric, it's got some like dust, so I need to work at this a little bit, but the fabric is really interesting and there's some like old beaded details in the fabric, which makes me think it's on the old side. Here's the underside in case you want to see it. And there's just a variety of little pins and things just kind of sticking out. So I thought this was really interesting and had to come home with me. I thought it was a really good find. I love old toys that remind me of my childhood. And this adorable play school puzzle of Little Bo Peep definitely fit the bill. I'm not holding it up too upright because I don't want the puzzle pieces to go flying. But it says Play School, Little Bo Peep, 15 pieces, 2 to 6 years old, which I am older than that, so I can play with this puzzle. And it's inscribed in the back, so somebody's written on the back, which happens sometimes. But I thought this was really very sweet, so I grabbed it. This is so funny. I saw these two figurines, and I just found them interesting. So I took them home, and it's Benjamin Franklin and George Washington. You can see they're sort of posed, and next to these pillars, George Washington has a book laid out, and Benjamin Franklin's kind of holding on to his upright. But they were interesting. They have the sign, they both say West Germany on the bottom. And there's this little plug. I think that's to give it heft. I think that's just to keep them weighted down so that you could use these. I guess you would be able to use these as, what do you call them? Bookends. Bookends is the word I'm looking for. I think they would make lovely and very interesting bookends. And I think these were made by the same manufacturer of Hummel figurines, which is Goodwill, I think is how you say it. I'm pretty sure that's the case based on the markings. I could be mistaken, and I will do more research on them, but Eric wanted to keep these, so that's what we're gonna do. I think George Washington looks very handsome as a bookend, especially next to all of these very old books. He's got such a great look, but if I wanted to change him out, I could add a little Benjamin Franklin to the party. Actually, I like Benjamin Franklin even better here because I think the brown tones of his coat look really nice with the brown tones in the books. So I'm gonna have to clear out some spaces for both of these because I think they're so interesting. Add a little bit of history to these bookshelves. I'm gonna see if I can find a spot in my house for these next two things because I really like them. So it's this beautiful framed Wallace Nutting wall art, and it is so beautiful. It looks like it's been hand signed, and the colors are really vivid, which make me wonder if this is some kind of original. I don't know anything about this. I just thought it was interesting, and I love the frame. This frame seems very 1930s-ish to me. Could be wrong, but that is my sense. And then there's also this one. So this one says, an old drawing room, Wallace Nutting. And again, it looks hand signed. And I do love pictures of old interiors. I love the clues they give us about how life might have been lived back in the day. So, and this one also has a beautiful, very old looking frame, which I suspect is original. The back says a Lambert product made in USA. But I thought this was so pretty, and I thought together they could be quite nice. Of course, the question is going to be, where the heck would I put them? And I definitely don't have an answer to that question, but I'm going to think about it. Here's a better look at the Wallace Nutting print, hopefully without as much glare as you might have been getting before when I showed you. It's just a nice nature scene. It's lovely. And like I said, this frame is really good as well. And then here's the interior. So you're still getting glare, but I think maybe that's not too bad. So you can see this woman's lovely dress, and she's sitting at a piano. See the mirror over the little side table with the candles. I just love all of those details. Oh, and there is a copyright. So I wonder if this was from 1912. Could that be? Not sure, but I really like it. I think I'll do my best to find a good spot for this. While Iris takes a little snooze on the table where she should not be, I think we might want to dive a little bit deeper into Wallace Nutting. You may have heard of him before. Let's find out just a little bit more.
Wallace Nutting was born in Massachusetts in 1861, shortly after his father died in the Civil War. As a result, he was shuttled between relatives in New England and the Midwest, spending his teenage years in Maine. After college, he became a congregational minister, but retired at age 43 due to stress and overwork. He turned to his hobbies to relax and recover, including amateur photography. Soon, Nutting's hobby turned into his second career. His work started to appear in magazines, competitions, and print shops. And by 1912, his catalog of photographic prints included 900 images. As business grew, Nutting hired a young group of women to hand color his photographs and converted his Connecticut property, which he named Nuttingham, into a compound. His barn became a studio where his black and white prints were colorized and then framed. Nuttings, as they came to be called, could be purchased in different sizes and subject matter. Popular subjects included pastoral scenes, including abbeys, winding roads, flowers, and mountains. But arguably, his most popular work fell into the category of colonials. These were photographs of genteel women in period costumes and traditional roles, often at home in front of a hearth or an antique chest, chair, or mirror. These photos were often given as wedding gifts, with prices ranging from $1.25 to $20, depending on the frame. As production increased, Nutting outgrew his Connecticut property, moving to Massachusetts in 1914 to a property he called Nutting Home. At that time, he claimed to be earning $1,000 a day. Nutting wanted to ensure that his historic photographs were as authentic as possible, so he organized the Wallace Nutting chain of colonial picture houses. The chain included 5 historic houses in 3 New England states, which he purchased and restored between 1914 and 1916. He gathered a large collection of antique furniture and old items that he used as props in his photographs and to decorate historic homes. But soon after, he began reproducing those things in his furniture business. Nutting wrote, "Those who know the pictures want the chairs." As he did before, Nutting used sophisticated marketing and production to grow his business. In 1917, Nutting wrote a guidebook to American Windsor furniture, and a year later, he issued a mail-order catalog featuring Windsor chairs, which were also available for sale in his department stores. At the same time, tourists could visit the originals in his chain of houses for a 25-cent admission fee. In this way, Nutting organized a market, created demand, and filled orders, essentially a one-man show. Nutting has been dubbed the Martha Stewart of 1915 for his promotion of home design and country living and ability to build a business all in his own name. In 1921, Nutting published Furniture of the Pilgrim Century, and in 1928 he published Furniture Treasury, which remains a standard reference book for generations of collectors. I have it myself. Wallace Nutting's photographs, historic homes, antiques, and books all made the name Wallace Nutting synonymous with Old America, and particularly Old New England. His efforts to capture and romanticize the past provided a counterbalance to a world that was becoming increasingly modernized and fast-paced. Nutting died in Massachusetts at the age of 79. His photographs and reproduction furniture continue to be prized by collectors today. Quite a legacy, wouldn't you agree?
I picked up 2 books. They're Louisa May Alcott books, Jack and Jill and Under the Lilacs. And this would have been part of a series. And the binding is not that interesting. However, when you open it, it's really cool. So this is a photograph of the orchard house where the Alcotts lived. They've lived in a variety of places, but this is one of their famous homes in Massachusetts that you can actually go and visit. It's a house museum now. I've been there before. It's fantastic. And I love books that have book plates in them. Technically, that detracts from the value of the book, but I love them, and I'm more likely to pick up a book if I can find something like that inside. I think it's awesome. So this was copyrighted. Oh, look at this illustration. It is so beautiful. This is from 1945. So not super old, but very sweet. And I thought they were fun to pick up. Let's see the illustration in this one. Oh, it looks like this was from a library, actually, Bryan Memorial Reading Room. So that's not good for book value either, and it's got some writing on it. It was 15 cents at some point. Got some binding issues here. And this original copyright was 1880. So this one's older. It looks like this one says copyright. The last copyright is 1928. So that's interesting. And it doesn't have the same illustration. Okay. And it's got a little repair here. So a little bit delicate. Not exactly the same series as I thought they were, but definitely very similar. At least the colors are quite similar.
For right now, I've placed the books on top of a bookcase, and I have these pretty birds on top. I love this bookcase because it has doors, so it keeps the dust down. But I think the books look really nice right here.
The last thing that I want to show you is this beautiful Bates bedspread. It's yellowed quite a bit with age, but I'm going to see if maybe some OxyClean will help with that. I love Bates bedspreads so much, and I shy away from them because you can see they're pretty vulnerable to damage from claws, and licorice always gets on the beds, and so do the cats. But with that in mind, I was going to pass on this. And the person who owned it offered it to me for $5. I could not turn it away for $5. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, like I said, just because my crazy animals are so bad. We've lost 2 other Bates bedspreads due to claw damage. I can't, oh, here it is. Okay, so you can see this is queen size. It's a nice old Bates blanket, and this is George Washington's Choice. Loomed by heirloomed. Oh, loomed to be heirloomed. So these are absolutely gorgeous on a bed. My mom had one. Eric has had lots of them, and I do absolutely love them. I just don't know about little kitties, but I'll give it some thought and I'll figure it out because I do love it. That's for sure.
I didn't have time to wash the bedspread in time for this video, so I thought I would show you a picture of what the pattern looks like. So at least you can get a sense of how pretty it is when it's all sorted out, cleaned up, and on somebody's bed. So I'm looking forward to getting to that project as soon as time allows.
So that's the haul. I think I found some really good things. The prices were awesome, which made it possible for me to pick some things up to possibly resell. I'm gonna keep some things. So, you know, a mixed bag. And the best part, of course, was getting to see the viewer. I had met her once before. She had purchased something from me, and she gave me this clothespin apron that had been in her family that I absolutely treasure. So now I'll have some more little bits and pieces for her family, from her family, representing in my house, and a few things on my eBay store as well.
Well, friends, it's officially the weekend, and after a long week and a new job, I am enjoying drinking my coffee in bed and watching Chateau Diaries. This is as close to heaven as I can get right now, and I'm enjoying myself, but I'm not alone. There is some interesting rumblings underneath these covers, and we know what that means. Where are the little critters? There's one, there's the other one. Oh boy, they're having a lot of fun underneath these blankets. They're so feisty. They keep kind of jumping on each other and wrestling around down there. It's all very amusing. Look at them. They are just the cutest. Iris's face is getting better, but she's still wearing the cone, so this is just a little break. And there she is one more time. She's got such a pretty face. I guess she's finished playing under the blankets. She's got things to do and people to see, so she's heading on out of here. And that just leaves little brother. He's still in here somewhere. I don't know where he went. Come on, little guy. There's his little face. Okay, they're off to terrorize some other part of the house, and I'm going to go back to my coffee and Chateau Diaries.
Here's a little licorice sighting. She's all excited because she just came inside. She was out for her little bathroom break and then had her lunch. But she's having a nice time here on the bed now that she's in, and she'll be sleeping before you know it. By the way, this bed is now so much better for her because we just bought an adjustable bed and mattress. So our bed is so much lower than it used to be, and that is great for dogs with arthritis. So my girl can get up and down that bed without any difficulty at all, and so can the little kitties. So everybody's happy.
I realize that Eric isn't technically a fur baby. He's my husband, but I haven't shown him in a while, so I thought I would let you see what he's up to. He's just getting started with repainting the house. This hasn't been done in about 20 years. So he's been repairing some clapboard and recaulking, and now he's putting some kind of primer substance on the house as he gets ready to paint. We're awfully boring. After a lot of debate and discussion and thinking about changing the color of our house, we decided to keep it the exact same color. So yellow it is, and yellow it shall remain.
So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day. Indy wants to say goodbye. Here he is. He hopes you have a good day too, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.